Phil Harrison, you are one dumb son of a bitch.
This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. That's right, the video game show that is not hosted by an annoying e-beggar. There are no Patreons, no Super Chats. That's right, we just talk about the games we love and how fun it is to hoard them, and maybe a topic here or there. Now, with that said, let's get ready for the show. On today's episode...
Hello, humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. Oh, look at that. Oh, shilling gear. I just got this at GameStop today. Matches the company that's winning over here, the war of the streaming service. The cloud wars have begun and ended with Microsoft because Stadia just closed down. But Phil Harrison has to be one of the dumbest sons of bitches in video game history. He turned down Hideo Kojima, right? Because he wanted to make a sequel to Death Stranding, but it was going to be single player. Now, you know, there's a great history of people making bad decisions in the video game industry that leads to the downfall of their platforms, you know, their consoles, of their companies. And this might be one of the biggest, right? I always remember, you know, the book Console Wars. You know what? And if you guys have never read it or even heard it, I'm going to put a link down below.
Guys, and I'm telling you, this is a good book. You know, you can get it on Kindle or paperback or even audiobook. But it really has to do with Sega, Nintendo, and the battle they had back in the 90s, you know, and that defined really the generation of video games, a lot of it which we're living today, but a lot of the same boneheaded mistakes were made back then.
Right? I know you guys don't like reading. Because nobody reads the FTC regulations. But yeah, this guy turned him down. That's the equivalent, right? It's like you're trying to shoot free throws and Michael Jordan asks you, hey, you know, I'm going to help you. And you're like, nah, I got this. What a huge, huge failure this has been. And it's going to rest on his shoulders. You know, the name of the game is the game. And that has always been true for any platform. And the fact that this platform never had its own games is really why it didn't survive. It didn't attract interest. It didn't have any exclusives, you know, major exclusives, right? And now developers weren't even told. Some of them were working on stuff, you know, and now they got to lay people off. At least they're refunding people, right? Their subscriptions. Amico, I'm never getting a refund, right? When they close down, I'm going to get a shirt that says, Tommy Tallarico ripped me off. Just for that, right? The shirt will be priceless. But I still have hope for the wood grain. Hope against hope, right? But the amount of money here, guys, you know, it proves to you that you can't buy your way into talent. You can't buy your way into things. You know, there's plenty of people that make fun here on YouTube, but my favorite thing is making fun of executives that make stupid, and I mean stupid decisions. You know, that would have been an exclusive for the platform, and Kojima has a great following. Let me tell you, I would have signed up just for that game. When I talk about Death Stranding, you know, I like to compare it to the Shenmue of its time, right? It tried to do a lot of things, a lot of brand new things. The technology wasn't quite there, but let me tell you, if you played that game for a certain amount of time, it becomes addicting. I found myself going back to the game just to build more roads.
And let me tell you guys, I think the game builds strong connection because of the acting. Really, I remember one time I was sitting there building roads, and all of a sudden I looked up, and it was 3 a.m. And I'm not going to lie, I was really entertained by the story, number one. Number two, at the end, I'm not going to lie, I thought they were going to smash, and I was looking forward to that, but it didn't happen.
You know, like I already finished the game, right? And I'm over there repairing roads because I have an attachment to this world. I want to make sure everybody gets deliveries. I'm over there talking to Conan. But what a missed opportunity, guys. But, you know, when all this started, I said, you know, the cloud wars had begun, right? And obviously, Microsoft is going to be the beneficiary of this because they're going to be really the leader. They're going to be up in front of everybody. They're really going to dominate the market now because Google was the biggest company that could really put a challenge to them. You know, I mean, they're still Amazon, but you know, it's not going to happen. You know, they just don't have that following. I think the premier service is going to be Xbox. I think they're going to stay there. But it's these kind of decisions, guys, that you look back in time and you would say, man, that would have changed everything. You know, if Kojima would have been on board, that could have been an ongoing service type game. But they turned it down. Phil Harrison, the idiot, turned it down because it was single player, right? The short-sightedness of that, right? Because all they want to do is they want to produce the same game over and over again, multiplayer versus microtransactions. That's what they're envisioning. They don't see anything else, and they forget that you can still make profit on a single-player game. You can still sell things, you know, on a single-player game. And in the future, you will be able to buy, you know, properties and different things in a game that you buy as a service. But you're never going to get there with short-sighted minds like this. This is what happens when you don't put somebody in front of the company that's actually a gamer, that has a love for games. The reason that, you know, Microsoft has been so successful the last few years is because they really concentrated on the games. You know, their Xbox One was terrible at first. They went for, you know, for multimedia, they went for other things. They wanted to be an entertainment box, and they lost their way.
Guys, and this is why CEOs make the big bucks, because the directions they choose, the forecasting of business, the direction of the company, that's what they get paid for, right? They don't get paid for what's happening right now. They get paid for what's going to happen in a year, a month, 3 years from now. They're always looking forward. And when they fail, they need to get out.
Phil Harrison, because this guy's an idiot. He turned Kojima down. Talk about boneheaded ideas. Dude, you're an idiot. Guys, you can be rich and still, in business, be a complete imbecile. He'll be okay, don't worry. He's gonna make a lot of money. Google's not gonna go broke. But one thing they're not gonna do is be a player in the cloud business. Not in gaming. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.
New videos every week. Make sure you don't miss out and subscribe.